welcome back to the channel, everybody. With Heroes of Exandria coming up in less than a week and a half or so, as of time of recording, we are going to be looking back at old set 2 and 3 cards that we are going to miss. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to scroll through them. We're going to try to keep this video to at least 10 to 15 minutes, wax poetic on some of the things that we're going to miss, and some of the things we're not going to miss. So we're going to head right into it. Let's just go ahead and start with set 2, Crimson Rampage. The maligned set 2. Really, there was some good cards, and there was a lot of bad. So, Airstream Driver. I'm definitely going to miss this card. This card was super cool. It punished people for blocking. But also had a really cool seal ability on that discard. Moving on, Jet Rebound Sidekick saw some play. Aw, man, I played Ricochet Charge back in the day in my All Might 3 deck that I won a webcam provisional with. That Stun 2 really helped put it through, and then he also said, hey, man, you're not going to block it and keep cards in your hand. I'm going to clear it after it resolves. Small Limber was the linchpin of so many decks. This was just basically freebie foundations. If you played sacrifice abilities, back then it was like off of Air. Release did that defensively. Good did it with self-sacrifice. Void didn't get one until set 3, which is kind of funny. Taiyaki Fanatic. This card was actually, I played it a couple times in sideboards, but that destroy cost, the sacrifice cost now, is just too much. If it was a flip, sure, why not? We have stuff that says commit now, but it's for Foundation. Mizuku Adoria 2. Everyone's hero. Everyone wanted this guy to be really good. I think he topped maybe once. I don't remember how many times he's topped. Back Alley Haymaker, rip. Yeah. People played it too much. Too much value. Too much wow. I played Overhead Reversal in Ymir until like a month before Nats. So this card still, and then Any Means Necessary, goodbye. I am so happy. We don't have to give Pony another discard draw outlet. High value target still sticking around in a form of a promo. New training method. Pour one out for our homie. New training method. Ymir stands and mains of the world are crying yep, in about 6 to 7 days. Wait, no, I'm recording this on the 22nd, which is Washington's birthday, by the way. So yeah, we got 2 weeks. 2 weeks for this card, and then it's gone. Probably for good measure, this card's too free. I wouldn't be surprised if they reprinted this. It would be a 3 diff, and probably cost him momentum. I don't know. I don't know how you balance this card out, but it's still really it's still one of the best cards in the format today. Bakugo 2, you thought you were cool. Howitzer Impact Cyclone, this card was sick. I believe some Fire Ymir decks played it. A lot of just like it gave Death a way to draw at that time, and also it lacks speed. So if you had a character like Ochako 2, you could have put speed on it. You can also replay it multiple times. Forcing Surrender is going to live in a promo. Thank goodness Byakko does not have internship anymore. This card was never played. Tutoring Kirishima still played in some Byakko lists for the Turbo Flip. Mei Hatsume, sorry you didn't really get your moment to shine. Electromagnetic Stomp was good. She had really good cards though. Electromagnetic Stomp was good. Netgun Surprise was really good. Wire Arrow was played in some Worlds decks of 2024. I believe Tim Keep had it in his Ymir list. Floating, still a popular card to this day, even though it had a +4 block mod. Rodons of the World on all are crying everywhere. Mid-match, was it mid-match advertisement? Yeah, flip, discard a card if there are 2 more tech cards, gain 2 health. Yeah. I know it's a taunt, but yeah, this card was bad. Mino Shido 2, she was still relevant in the meta up until rotation. Her cards, Cheerful Uppercut, still one of the best defensive pieces in the game. Hero name was bad. Graceful Maneuvers was kind of sick I guess like back in the Tongue Whip meta. You would but you'd either board this or main it, just because it got better for every block you played. But the problem was blocking the first move. Struggling, probably for good measure. Allowed death, water, chaos, some really, really defensive longevity. Like you could go down to a smaller hand size by throwing attack, having 1 or 2 cards in your hand, blocking, and then blocking 1, eating 1, returning an attack to block. Man, this character did not need to have 25 health. A Chaco 3, sadness. Double Jab Pummel, still was a good card. Still is a good card. It's just, it's 3 mid, man. It's just, that's too easy to block. I always like Shrapnel Cloud Release. It's just, you know, after it's blocked, your rival commits 1. It's huge, beefy attack. Training Knife Strike. As many times as I tried to make a void discard deck by putting this card in. Yep. Okay, so 0 Grab Barrier, which was like a Skull Barrier. I believe, like a Skull Barrier, like a Spiritual Reprint. If it didn't have the 2, probably played, to be honest. This card's pretty good, actually. It's a 3-low 6 that can be swapped to a 6-low 3. I also had a remove a momentum, discard a momentum, remove this from momentum. You just add your rival's attack to the momentum, draw a card. If like it, I think that's kind of bad too. Like if it said discard or remove and they draw a card, I think it's probably worth it. Ambush Tactics wasn't, I don't know if this was ever played. Confused was a good card. That was a good card. Train with Gunhead gave these symbols some throw hate. Shoto Todoroki 2, you were cool. That's it. Cinder Convection was a neat card. Searing Glacial Storm. Back in the 4th kind metas, I can remember this guy playing that. Because those decks would build wide, and then they would be like at 5, or what you do is you be able to, I think you like tap them down. I don't know, but I know some 4th kind lists play this to get rid of a lot of foundations, and then they were able to stun their rival out. Drowning in Resentment. Everyone thought this card, I wish this card worked the way it reads, but it doesn't. Making a Stand with some premium disc. Oh, I skipped over Ice Gliding. Okay, so Fire, Order, Water are gonna cry because this is one of the best chain blocking cards in the game. Rip. Making a Stand was a good card. Staying You Suck. Bad. This card could have been good, but it's bad. Challenging the Fakes was alright, because it basically just said it was a breaker 2. Hero Killer was cool. I thought this card was neat. It just like that remove cost, just the 1-for-1 trade was a lot. Like I guess if it was a flip, it would have been broken. Intimidating Presence didn't really see play. Rooftop Vantage gave those symbols some lows. A low block on a 0. UniVersus is going to cry come March 7th. Dobby, rip. Blue Flame Spiral. Did you know this card destroys assets? I didn't know that until I forgot it did that, actually. League Interview lives on in a form of a promo. Endeavor by Revel was a really good, just random damage pump. Bird 2. Never really got the support to be good. Plus, he lived in a time that Bird 1 was still around. Resting Hana Zero 2. I think there's a couple people out there are going to be sad this guy's leaving. This guy was kind of cool. Travel by Tape. Oh, here we go. Toga 1. She did so much work in her lifetime. She kind of fallen off just because being a 7-hand size with like no defensive ability was kind of looked frowned upon, I guess. But back in her heyday, she was great. Excited for Blood. I know a bunch of people are going to be missing this card. Hitoshi Shinzo. I played this guy at a local once. I think I won 2 games. I know I played Tam in a webcam event with this guy. I think I won a game. He won the match, but I gave him a hard time, I guess. This card was bad. Unexpected Hero. That was a good card. This was still played up until rotation. Shiozaki. One of Tim Keef's favorite characters. Creeping Vine and Face Shield. Face Shield still sticks around due to a reprint. Goodbye Mineta 2, no one's going to miss you. Same thing with Grape Rush. But surviving the final will be missed. This is kind of, with set 2 and 3 leaving, this is kind of like the end of the overpowered zero meta. I guess card pool, right? Like surviving, basic training, easily excited, floating. Like we got a couple decent ones left in Master's Pride. That might be the best zero. Oh, sorry. We still have Pro Hero number 10 and Keeping Aerie Safe as overpowered zeros. So we'll see if the trend continues from AOT up, that the zero diffs are going to be blank or very nearly unplayable, or not even in sets that we saw in Heroes of Exandria. Monoma, this guy was a rules nightmare, so I'm probably glad to see him rotate. Evading copy, all the Deku 6 mains unite. Present Mike 2. Rip. Bad. Jeremy Ray's crying because of Tenya Ida 3, his favorite characters are leaving. Thruster Kick's cool. Fusion was okay. It was neat. Tetsu Tetsu was a fun deck. Manly Friendship was played. Go for the Win was huge. That was still being played like in Burt 2 decks. Ready, Get, Set, Go banned for good reason. Counter Strike. It even says Counter Strike. Confident Counter Strike. Oh, we love this. Giant Bite Detention was sick. This card was never really played. Fruit of Our Labors was sick. This card gave you really good defensive options, being able to chain block a little better. Also, the form on the Deadlock form punished your opponent so hard. Spooky, I'm going to miss you, buddy. Not really played, not ever really played. Alleyway Ambush. This goes back to the Toga 1. Like, this card was just, it was killing you. Like, if she had the goods, she murdered you with this card. Ingenium fans unite. We're gonna pour one out for our boy Paul Butler. I love you. Your boy's rotating. Sugar Rush Power Up. This card was heavily played. I remember it was kind of expensive at one point. Invincible Clasp was really good. It was the throw that could not be wall clinked. Advice for Winners. It was okay. I never played it. Learning the Standards was huge. This card saw a hell of a lot of play. Anti-Ymir tech too, by the way. It just flipped their stuff they build, but still. Fourth Kind, Ectoplasm, Cement Toss, Snipe. I believe these guys were all played, except Ectoplasm. I don't think he was played, but Fourth Kind, Cement Toss, and Snipe were all played competitively, even though Snipe was very bad. Blood Curdle was a way to deal with characters. Was really one of the only ways to deal with characters forever. And then they printed like Heroes Upbringing and like Characters Are Sacred, that era, you know. Ultra Compressed Weights was still being played at 2024 Worlds because of Pony. Facepalm Takedown, still a good card. And now we're getting into the dogs. Hellframe Cross Punch, Mentor Legacy Punch. If it didn't have a 2-check, I think this would have seen play. It had good keywords. Charge Fury Punch. Maneuvering Laser, Dissolving the Conflict was seen in the Ghidorah decks. I'm glad this has gone out of Ghidorah. Final Exam Failures was a neat card. Denki... Okay. Barlow, I am sorry your boy's leaving. Pour one out for the Barlow. This guy is rotating with very little fanfare. Indiscriminate Shock. Poor Kirishima 2 did nothing wrong. Pour one out for our homie. Homage was such a good card. Cannon Blast. I wish Momo 2 was better. Like, if she was a 21 health, I think she would have seen a lot more play. Cannon Blast, Study Group Leader, still cards that were played. Yeah, he's bad. Tummy Ache Laser. Oh, man, we're still... Oh, these are provisional promos, too. Holy shit. Midnight's Assistance, never saw play. Gunhead. I believe someone tried to make him work, but I don't think he did. And then Selkie. Yo, Selkie was cool. Just, he doesn't have support. Uwabami's still living and as a reprint. Overflowing Power. Rarely ever saw play. Sports Festival Stadium. I remember when this card first came out, people were paying $50 a copy for this card. I don't know. It was back when, like, the provisionals were just now like starting, and everyone wanted this card because it burned your rival, it kicked a block, and they block the attack, and then you kick it, and then you get to draw a card. Award the Victor, a fantastic card that saw play in a lot of metas. Childhood Friends, I put it in a deck or two, but I didn't really do much else with it. So yeah, we got through that. Let's get through set 3. Endeavor 2, rip. Hellflame Pounce was cool. I liked this card a lot. I liked Hellflame Stomp too. Thought this was a great card. Ignited Arrow, I'm glad you're leaving. This card sucks. I hate playing against this card. Prominence Burn, pour one out for a homie. This card was super sick, especially in Fire Your Mirror. You'll see that the fire ranged package is going to take a beating this rotation. Coping is not just coping. Here's another overpowered 0 that is I'm glad to see leave. Eraserhead, sorry, no one played you. This card was cool. You got to discard a card for 4 extra damage. Blinding Cloth Precision, I've died to this card a couple times. Let's see. Acrobatic was a cool 0. This card never really got played a lot. Even though it says after you block, you get to clear it. And then you get to, it has like a minus, it actually has a playable ability. This one probably isn't as overpowered as some of the other 0s in the set. This one's actually really solid. I'm surprised. I'm like, I never played with it because I always thought like I had other 0s I could play with at the time when I started playing these symbols. Daunting Message was seeing play in the Rodon decks. Exhausted was still seeing play. Prone was seeing play. Koji Koda, he made a splash. Command Pigeon Flock. Man, this was one of my favorite attacks in the set. I get to build an ally foundation like Friends with Animals and just go to town. Mr. Brightside. Oh boy. Pour one out for the homie. Pour one out for the homie. Karate Chop was sick. I liked this card a lot. It has fake stun on it. Yep. Oh, this guy was bad. It's just they tried to make this was the first foray into the counter gimmick, and then they had muscular in the following set. Excuse me. It was a cool idea. It just they're like I don't know, like it just seemed like it was not overcosted, but like you couldn't do all your gimmicks in one turn, I guess, really. Like, but you could go, so like you had, because you always reset at 4. If he was able to stockpile more than 4, I think that would have been, you've been seen a little more play. Because no matter what, at the start of your turn, you remove all counters, you add 4, and then I guess if you gained counters, you could have extra counters going into your opponent's turn with like Tentacle and Window Shopping. You could have more, but then at the beginning of your turn, you lose all the ones that you had. Window Shopping, fantastic card. Rick Sato 2, Brutish Swagger, sick card. Talented Baker, sick card. Shout out to my buddy Paul Baker. Blood Moon Rending was a sick card. This card was neat because you were able to just it was the first part of like the hand rip package that it started building upon itself, and like this was a key component of it. Influencing the youth, this card would be really good in the recoup meta because you just tell them to commit them all. 13, I think someone tried to make her work. Black Hole Void was more of the hand rip thing, but it said they drew a card because no one likes their hand being ripped from them. Can't Escape Me, great card. Poor Tomura Shigaraki. Like, I think there was something here. Like, he could have been good. But, like, I don't know. Like, removing your own cards from the game, just, I don't know. He had he had, like, no pump on him. And at the time where every character, like, you played characters who could pump their stats were, like, premium. Sudden Death Assault. This card had some really cool gimmicks. This could be played in Denki 2, and you could just burn them for 5 for free. I liked Nothing to See Here. This was a neat card. Fuck this character. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Invisible, that's sticking around. Cheerleader's still sticking around. Engine Trouble, Flex Your Might. Nullify. The Revoke we wish you had. Recovery time. This will come up later. Battle Arena, probably a good thing that it's leaving because Chaos has so much check pump and check hack in it now. Like this, yeah, it's crazy. Grenadier Bracers. It was in the 2024 World's winning deck. This supplemented a lot of attack packages when they couldn't get the damage. It gave them extra reach. UA High, RIP, USJ. Man, Blitzney. Okay, so I played this in my retro deck for Robert from KOF Neomax. It's really funny slamming this and then powerful 5ing this attack and getting a bunch of damage. Blue Flame Palm Strike, another one of my faves. Poor Woodman. Brandish Steel. Compression Sphere, the coolest XR in the set, I believe. Death Arms Wallops, I'll play on Majiki. Clones, yep. This card was bad. This card had a lot of gimmicks, but Extendo Hair never really saw the light of day. Fierce Whirlwind was cool. Funny Punch did a lot of stuff. Had a lot of schmoves in the meta, right? Had a lot of schmoves in the meta. Forceful Blow, I believe, at the 2022 World, the Recovery Girl players were playing this because you could give it throw. Freezer Burn was cool. Frozen Slash was one of my favorite attacks because I love passing stats. Gargantuan Bellow. Hardened Uppercut was one of my favorite blocks. Piercing Needle, Mortoga stuff. Sludge was underrated. You Ready One rival, the Ready One of yours. This Somnambulism should have been a 3-check. It was another way. It was one of the only other. It was like the second way you can deal with your opponent's character. This was so hype because Midnight was so much fun to play, but you had to play a 2-check to do anything to your. Like you could, if it was a 3-check, this would have seen play all the time, but it didn't because they had a 2 and checking a 2 if it didn't win you the game didn't matter. It wasn't worth it. More Mineta stuff. Goodbye. Stun Grenade. Okay, this is what I said about the Fire Fury package or the Death Fury package, or even the Air Fury package. I guess any of these symbols. If they were playing the Fury package, this was their main way to draw and sculpt cards, and this is leaving, and there's no replacement for it right now. So probably for a good reason. So, like, I wouldn't be mad if this came back as a spiritual reprint. Like if we had maybe like the final war set, and there was like a new Stun Grenade that was a reprint that had cool art on it. I'd be down. Tentacle Strike had a really cool the card pool because if you blocked with this, you get to remove it, and when you clear your card pool at the end of the turn, and you got to commit a rival foundation, that was sick. TTTTT. Trap Flex. Shoutouts to Jacob Johnson. This card was banned. It took way too long to ban this card. Wind Up Punch. This card was a kill con in a many a deck. So Manly was a good defensive piece. Where Recovery Girl would loop the So Manly thing. So you would have one on board, flip it when you take damage. You had one in discard. You would build it and do it again. So you got to do 2 of them in one instance, which was kind of screwed up. All Worked Up was cool. Basic Training is one of the overpowered zeros. This card did so much for a 0 diff. Bench Press was sick. I think Bewilder didn't see a lot of play because it just wasn't very good. Carbo Loading saw a lot of play. Catching a Ride was cool. This card never saw play. I don't know if Conflict of Ideologies. Constantly Improving was played in those One Punch All Might 4 decks. That's really the only time I ever saw play. Cool and Tough. I liked this card a lot. I always tried to fit it in, but it ended up getting cut. Never played. Easily Excited. Goodbye. Sucks. It was one of the coolest zeros. Sure, you get a speed and you gain taunt, but like it was a really good zero. We're gonna miss this. We're gonna miss this one at all of them, I think, that are rotating. Feeling Cute was neat. It gave these symbols a way out of Deadlock and some extra speed. Like every symbol had that. There was every like 3 symbols. There were groups of symbols that had one destroy outlet to get out of Deadlock. Honorable Forfeit. Yep. Hype Man. Idle Work. Here was Void and Orders destroy foundation stuff for like the longest time. Like the win. Male Bonding saw a lot of play. I liked Noble Participation, but like on a 2-4 plus 4 high, you know, it reduced some stun to 0, it reduced some powerful to 0. One with Nature was banned. Prehensile Tail was super cool. Proud Scion was super cool. Snack Time was banned. Sports Festival Champ somehow didn't get banned, and it lasted till rotation. So I'm wondering how the Elder Dragoro decks are going to do now that they can't have their damage reduced. After this, because they could play an ability, do this on an attack like true 100%, crank the stats and flip the stats so your damage wouldn't be reduced, so it would stay where it's at, and then it would flip to the speed, so you have this giant one-shot. So I'm wondering how those Elder Dragoro lists are going to end up. I love Successful Results. It was really good. To the Rescue. Watching from a Distance had a really cool, it was a spiritual reprint of another card. It just never saw play. Like commit, discard. If it didn't commit, but this also had to have this was like on offense only, because you didn't get to, like, you couldn't do it defensively. I think if you were able to do it defensively, it would have been really neat. Aggressive Clash, if it didn't check a 2, would have saw a lot of play. Heroic Clash should have just been a 4-2. It didn't need to have a 1 check on it. They were just really safe. They were really safe for like the first 3 sets. I guess the set 1 SRs were really good. They weren't super safe, but like set 2 and set 3 were super safe, and that just is kind of sad because this card's super cool. It's a spiritual reprint of a card I love that's in retro, and you just can't justify the 1 check. You just can't. It just doesn't. Backdraft was silly. Death Arm saw a hell of a lot of play, all the way up until like St. Louis last year. They were making schmoves. Training Weights got dropped and Mimic after a while. Hardened Steel, I played this in All Might. Chivalrous Competitor was still was wanted after so much time. Nezu, Evil versus Good is one of the staples of that Evil to Elder Dragoro and the One Punch Midoriya 6 deck to protect their combo. And so now they're losing to cancel, so maybe they have to up the numbers of Dr. Ichigaki or other cards. Seizing the Advantage, probably a good thing this is going. Symbol of Peace, this card was sick. Specialist in a collectible, I don't think I saw this card ever played. This card was very weird because you would remove a foundation and then to get an action from your discard pile, but like you just wouldn't play this card in Tokiyami for Summon Dark Shadow. There were just better cards. Hardened Barrage. Okay, so Burn Ernie. We'll talk about Burn Ernie, right? This is Ernie or Ketchup and Mustard. They were some of the coolest promos from the Plus Ultra packs. They buffed each other, and one Hardened Barrage here buffed damage, Rapid Punches buffed speed, and then this, after on hit, this card actually unflipped a foundation, which was very rare in our game, which led to I believe, a infinite with this All Might's mentorship and Award the Victor. It led to, if you didn't have a high block, you were dead. You just lost. You lost to an infinite until you couldn't pass checks anymore. We'll talk about Rapid Punches. Rapid Punches was super sick. This card was my favorite of the two. This was Bert. It was because it was a low attack. It gained speed, and then you were able to draw a card on hit. Piercing Thorn Lances was really cool in like a Lowe's Godzilla, or like, I believe like Water Shiozaki or Life Shiozaki Lowe's was very cool. Viscous Lunge, never saw play, but could have been cool if it was a 3-check. Like a lot of cards they put 2 checks on should have just been 3s, because I think they were just trying to play it too safe. Because this couldn't kill your rival anyways, but now everything that burns nowadays just kills your rival no matter what. Heroic Aspirations, bye-bye. Petty Squabbles was great. We saw that scene play. I loved this card. It was really good. Mandalay was really cool. Like her kit was probably played. Pixie Bob. Pixie Bob had a really cool gimmick. It's like she was just like a locals level deck that was just good enough to play at locals. Cat's Call Face Grab was a really good move. Excuse me. I know Jesse Cervini out there loved his ragdoll decks. He was trying to get this character to work. I don't think he ever got it to fruition. Cat Pounce was neat. Happy Go Lucky gave the evil symbol more low blocks, is basically what this card did. El Tigre, this guy was dope. I lost a lot of games to this guy, and it wasn't more to Cat Punch, it was more Playa Body and him. Yeah, he was a really cool character. All Might 5, I don't remember anyone ever playing this guy. But he was dubbed Smash Might due to the response twice per turn. You have to play a card with Smash in its name. Draw a card. Yeah. I'm not sad to see this character go. This character was just cringe. Like, Recovery Girl, like, the prison decks that came from this. Yeah, you just, not cool at all. Living Up to Example stole one of my favorite characters' enhances. Flamethrower was neat. Gigantic Explosion was also supposed to be a spiritual reprint, but wasn't as good. Villainous Waylay was cool until you check the 2 and you ripped it out of your deck, for the most part. The art's super sick. And then we have Photogenic Hero to round out set 3. We will definitely miss this guy. This is one of my favorites. Like, when I saw this card, I was like, oh man, we're getting more Mount Lady support. And then it really wasn't Mount Lady support. Yeah, but it's very cool art. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the set 3 and set 2 send-off. Let me know what you think in the... that's weird. There we go. Let me know what you think. I guess that was just scrolling the entire time. Huh? That's neat. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What set 2 and 3 cards you're going to miss. You know, there are a few that I'm going to miss. There are a lot that I'm not going to miss. But yeah, just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe so you don't miss a notification. And...